go. This is a blouse that I cut off, and I cut it at an angle, and then I start cutting the bottoms off t-shirts and sewing it on. And so it's really full. And I call these my fairy skirts, or pixie skirts. I'm going to adjust this and see if I can get a little further back so you can see the bottom. Sorry, there's a table in the way here. Well, you get an idea anyway. And they're so comfortable, and they're kind of one size fits all. The size is determined by the t-shirt that I start with. So, you know, because they're so stretchy, they'll fit anywhere from a small, so it'll fit anywhere from a small up to a large. This that I'm hanging up is a woman's t-shirt, two women's t-shirts. And I cut the t-shirt up the side, and then I cut this diamond shape piece out of another t-shirt and sew it in each side. And then this is a man's shirt that I've done the ruffle with. And these are so cute on and so comfortable. So basically what I've done is I've made it bigger, so it's not so tight around the waist, and then added these pieces in, which gives it that asymmetrical hemline. And this is the t-shirt that I started with. And the back is like that. And that one's not on my Etsy because I'm keeping that for myself. I wear it. This is another woman's t-shirt with the diamond shaped pieces in the side, and a man's shirt for the ruffle. And out of a fairly large man's shirt, you can get a really nice ruffle for these out of one shirt, and still have the yoke and part of the sleeve and stuff left over for other projects. This is really pretty blouse. And like I said, they're so comfortable. I'd made another pixie skirt, or pixie dress, and I had cut the bottom of this t-shirt off to use in that one. And so I wanted to use the top. And it is, I've tried this on, and it fits me, but it's an extra large. But because it's knit, it just kind of clings to you. So I used the top of that. I wanted to lengthen the sleeves. They were like 3/4 length. I wanted them a little bit longer, so I used some leftover green cotton jersey from another t-shirt, and I just split it and sewed the piece in, and this is leftover from another t-shirt. These were all used in the same pixie dress that I had made. And then I used a man's shirt for the front and left the placket, so this opens. I need to press it. I washed it. I wash everything after I buy the thrifted garments. And I bring them home and wash them right away. And then after I'm done making my upcycled garment, I wash them again. So I've washed this, I just need to press it. So this is a man's shirt in front. This is another man's shirt on the sides. And I just pleated it on here to fit the t-shirt. I took the neckline from, this had the white, this t-shirt had the white. And I took the green neckband that I had cut off another t-shirt that I used this from, and just stitched it inside, just to give it a little bit of extra. And then I made a little flower out of leftovers and put it on there. I have a little bee, I don't know if you can see, this t-shirt has bees on it. So I embroidered a fun little bee on my embroidery machine and added him. This is a pocket from the shirt that I used for a ruffle. The pocket for it, I sewed it there. These are just scraps that I sew on. I do a lot of patching and kind of like quilting. I'll show you that. And the back of this is the back of that green men's shirt. And I left the pocket placket here and just stitched it shut from this shirt. And then I made a tie, and so it can be snugged up to be more flattering when it's tied on whoever is wearing it. Like, you know, you could wear, like from a medium to an extra large could wear this. So a smaller person that's maybe a medium can snug this up a little tighter, and it's more flattering. So that's one idea for a dress. And it was, what do you call that? Ombre. It went from light to dark. I didn't want to do anything with the top because it's got such a nice print on it, and it's got sparkly gold and some sequins. I didn't want to touch that at all. But I did want to make the top longer. So I ended up splitting it. I took it apart in the sides. First of all, I took down the sides. I split it across here and pieced this leftovers from the diamonds that I put in the sides and put that in, and then sewed the piece that was fastened to here. I sewed that on the bottom, and then I used some of that in the sleeves to make them longer. So I just cut it in two places, added in the pieces, and sewed the cuff back on. I had a shirt that was yellow with a little blue stripe in it that I thought coordinated nicely with the top. So I made my ruffle, and around the neck here, I always save my flat felt seams that I cut out, and I use them for embellishing. So this is the flat felt seam from the sleeve that I have sewn around the neck here. I'll do a close-up for you to see. And the back is like that. So you can see on the neck where I've just, see when, where I've sewed that on, and it goes all the way around. Just adds a little bit of extra. I like lots of texture and different colors, and you see me here, lots of texture and patches and different colors. I just think it adds so much more, little surprises everywhere. So that's a top. And again, it's got the diamond shapes in the sides, and then that gives it the asymmetrical hemline. Really cute dress too. It's actually a tunic. It would be a dress on some people, but it's more like a tunic. So it was, again, a t-shirt that I had cut the bottom off to use on a pixie dress, and then I try and do something with the top that I've got cut off rather than waste it. So this red was a man's shirt, and as you can see, I left the placket in the front so it can open. This was another man's shirt that I did the ruffle out of, and there's the pocket off it. So this is a woman's t-shirt and two men's shirts for this garment. And as I said before, I save all my tags and reuse them, and that's backwards. It says, Authentic St. John's Bay, established 1884. And then just scraps that I've stitched on, done a little funky stitching. Again, this is the flat felt seams that I cut off the sleeves that I've used there. Just some patches and some buttons of some of the flat felt seam again there. This is a little flower I made, and this is again some of the flat felt seam I just put on there for, I call them fraggles, that hang, and a button. The back again has the tie. The skirt is pleated on, and then the tie to just, you know, make it fit a little better. Here's another, that was off a man's shirt. It says Paradise Cove. In fact, it was probably off this red shirt. It says Paradise Cove, and then some patches, and again more of that flat felt seam, some more patches. So they're really fun to do, and they're so cute. People love them. So that's like a tunic top. And this one is on my Etsy and Facebook as well. And they're all for sale. It was, again, I had made a, let me see if it's on here. Might be on this dress I'm wearing. Yes, it is. This is this t-shirt. So I had cut the bottom of the t-shirt off, and then I had this left over. Now I wanted it a little bit longer, so I took the other scraps from this t-shirt and added pieces on, and you know, they've got serging there just to make it longer. So it comes to my waist when I try it on. This animal print was a woman's blouse. I left the button placket, but I sewed it shut. And then this was another woman's blouse, the pink. And I barely had enough to do the ruffle and the pocket. And I have a few patches on. So the pocket is patchwork. This is a zebra with glasses that I did on my embroidery machine. Again, done on that denim-y type fabric. I wanted a little flower somewhere to kind of mimic the flowers in this ruffle, so I embroidered this flower in pink, and these are just raw edge patches and some buttons that I sewed on. I embroidered the word love here. Let's see, I got a string I gotta trim. I'm gonna do that right now. And the back has a tie and some more patches. Just got some patches here and some up here and some more of the seams. When I trim the sleeves off, they always have that flat felled seam. So I make good use of it. And then the tie is what I had left over from the ruffle. And the sleeves were a 3/4 length sleeve, and I wanted to make them longer, so I took the sleeves off of another t-shirt that I had cut the bottom off of another t-shirt sleeves, and which I try to do. I try to leave whatever I'm cutting off. It's not very wide to use. See, I'd used it here in where I added on. But the bottom of the sleeve isn't a very wide piece, so I always try and leave enough that I can use it on another garment if I want to lengthen the sleeves, and it worked perfect for this one. So I just sewed that on. It's got the original cuff on the bottom. I just cut off the hem that was on this sleeve and sewed that on. So this is so fun to do. I'll bring this closer so you can have a look at the embroideries. There's the little zebra with glasses and a bow in its hair. And this is a flower that I embroidered. These are just raw edge patches and some buttons. A little bit of black thread that shouldn't be there. But I'm sorry, I'm getting used to this. So I reuse everything. The buttons, all the scraps. There's the pocket. I piece it, and I use actually the sleeve caps off of a blouse that I've cut apart, and so this one is lined with the sleeve cap from the pink blouse. This is the word love. I embroidered it right onto the fabric. It's backwards, I'm sorry. But I really like the hot pink with it. And then the raw edge patches in the back and on the skirt. So I love these patches, but it's also a good way if you happen to have a garment that may have a little stain on it, or sometimes when you're removing buttons or a pocket, you'll find a little hole in the fabric. I just use patches. It's what they've done for forever, is patch holes, so I do it creatively. And it really adds to the dress. It brings the color, like, you know, the color I used in the ruffle. It brought that color up into the pocket and then up into here, and then the same on the back. It just balances things, has the eye moving all over. And I absolutely love this one. On me, it's a little bit below my knees, and I like my dresses a little bit, either a little bit shorter or longer than that. But on somebody taller, it would be perfect length. So that's one of my favorites. And that's all I've got to show you right now. I have done other ones, but they've sold, and there's pictures on my Etsy. Well, they may not be on my Etsy. There's pictures on my Pinterest board, and there's pictures on my Facebook of some of ones that I don't have here that have sold. There's a couple more pixie dresses. And then I have things that I've sold that I didn't think to get a picture of before it sold, but I'm going to make lots more, so you'll get the idea.